Hey guys, today I'm coming at you with a quick little running tip, and you could call this the 5% rule. And essentially what it's going to tell you is when you should back off from doing your intervals during a running workout. So first of all, this isn't a new concept. I've kind of stolen it from the cycling world. However, in the cycling world, it's more so known as a 10% rule. I just feel like there's such a greater risk of getting injured as a runner than there is as a cyclist. That's why I cut it in half. So it's very, very simple. When you're doing your intervals, if you see a 5% drop in your interval time or in your power, I know a lot of us are running with power meters these days. It might just be a sign that you're too fatigued, or even that you just don't have the current run fitness to do that interval workout. So if this happens to you, there's a few things you could do. Number one, you could increase the time during your rest interval. So if you were taking 30 seconds rest in between your intervals, you could bump that up to 45 seconds or even a minute. Number two, you could shorten your intervals. So this is something I did recently, a couple of weeks ago. I was doing a set of 10 by 400 meters, and on the fifth one, my time dropped by more than 5%, so then I switched the final 5 intervals to 200 meters. That way the whole workout wasn't a failure, and I was able to walk away from that session still putting in some solid work. And then a third option, this is probably the best one, is to set your ego aside and just call it a day. Don't do any more intervals. Just do the rest of the run easy, or maybe go straight into your cool down. So just to make this even easier to understand, let's take an athlete. Let's say they're going to the track and they're going to do a main set of 10 by 400 meters. And their goal is to do each 400 meters in a minute 40, which is also 100 seconds. Now, as soon as that athlete drops to, say, a minute 45 or a minute 46, then they're starting to go over that 5% threshold. And at that point, that athlete needs to make a decision whether they're going to increase their rest, shorten the intervals, or just call it a day. Now, this 5% rule isn't going to be life-changing for any runner, although I do think it's going to save some runners a lot of heartbreak from just having their workout be a total failure. And most importantly, I think it's going to save a lot of runners from injury. More often than not, once you have that 5% drop, it's going to be very, very hard to maintain the times you were running. And a lot of us are guilty of just gritting our teeth, letting our run form get sloppy just to squeeze out a few extra seconds. And guess what? That's when injuries happen. So that's my 5% rule, just maybe something to keep in the back of your mind next time you head to the track or you do some intervals. If you're finding it too hard to do that mental math on the run, maybe have that 5% number in your head before you start the workout. And that's going to be it for today. Like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.